Kitchenroom production.
We have the long-awaited, anticipated John Robinson in the house, man. Clap it up, clap it up.
Salute.
There you
the
go.
Script. Yeah.
We finally made it happen, right?
Finally made it happen, man.
We've been talking about it, I don't know how many years at this point.
You know what? Sorry it took this long, but I feel
man.
like right now is the perfect time.
You said, pulled up and said, sorry I'm late.
Yeah, man.
I was
man.
getting some punani.
I'm a firm believer in the fact, things happen when they're supposed to happen, man. You know what I'm saying?
Never on schedule, but always on time.
I say, you're not late, man. The show goes to 11.
Plus, I got the right music, man. Like, musically, California, living out there turned me out, man. For real.
It made you very lackadaisical? Is that what you're saying?
It made me more prolific, but it made
okay.
me more experimental. So some of my hardcore, diehard fans didn't always love when I experimented and did something else,
I don't think it's funny because I think that's there you go. That's good. I think people fall in love with an artist, for certain reasons at the outset, obviously.
Yeah.
But they expect that from the artist their entire career. You know what I'm saying? And an artist has got to grow. Now, it's one thing if you're doing some obvious sellout shit just to try to appeal to an audience that isn't interested in them anyway. But if it's something that's actually showing growth, especially if you're going to take a risk like that and risk your fan base, because everybody knows what people expect from them. So if you do the opposite, did you did have some backlash from people, or you felt like people weren't really riding with you?
Definitely. And it wasn't really hardcore backlash. It was just reach out of saying, yo, go back to the the beats and rhymes and and I got that, but at the same time I didn't mind it because it's more about enjoying the journey and experimenting, collabing with different people, and you've
done a lot of those, man. Some great ones too.
Man,
definitely.
I appreciate all the collabs, and it's I can't say every single one was curated meticulously because some just happened, but I'm blessed to say I have a lot of collabs that were really pieced together, and
What were some of the ones that you felt really worked well though? You gotta have some favorites.
Shoot, I feel like working with Lewis Parker, working with Carlos Niño on the West Coast. I feel like when I worked with him, he really expanded me from the boom-bap MC, the underground, Stretch and Bob lyricist lounge guy, all praises due to the, let's throw some instruments over those boom-bap drums. Let's put a live bass line on that. Let's bring some horn players in here. Let's start to really just experiment with the essence of,
music, right?
How much time did you spend on the West Coast?
I was there from 2003 to 2007.
Okay.
So
a good enough time.
4 years, yeah.
What part?
L.A.
L.A.
Yeah, L.A.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and it was dope because I was there at a really dope time. I mean, at the time, Doom was just finishing Mad Villain.
Okay.
We were doing work together.
That's a good era.
Dilla was just really kind of moving to Cali shortly after I got there. It was just, R.I.P. It was just a lot of amazing things happening at that time.
And I think we have that in common, the fact that you mentioned, we both came from that diehard underground stretching. I mean, we performed together a bunch of times.
Absolutely, yeah, man.
We lived that era for real, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just think it was a natural progression because I wound up working with a couple bands, and I think through sampling again, it was one of those things where hip hop educated us, and you had so much interest in certain, I got Bob James playing in the background, so it was always Defender Rhodes and Bob James and the other piano keyboard players, and it was just a natural progression, I think, for a lot of us. We were blessed to come from that kind of and even as the new joint's titled what? The LvL Up, right? That's the name of the joint.
Yes.
And even that, I don't know if I would call it experimental. It's definitely a breath of fresh air. How would you, if you had to categorize it, which is
Nah, I don't call it. I call that easing my way back to what people know me to do.
That's what I kind of felt. Yeah, I just wanted to hear from you. I don't want to misjudge.
Nah, that's what that is. When I say experimental, it's more I did a project in Germany while living there for 4 months called Robot Robinson.
Oh,
you know
wow.
what I'm saying? It's
I missed that one.
Hip hop, so that's experimental. Or, some might even say the What's the Science album with Carlos Niño is a bit experimental because we did stretch things,
Yeah.
We took it outside of just the normal hip hop palette of you know, the 1 and 2 drums.
Yeah,
And,
it's a little limiting. I mean, as much as we love it, you know, as an artist, you start to feel like trapped in a box. The thing for me was like, I always got tired. I kind of got tired of, because I've been digging forever. So it was always like looking for what you wanted in other people's music. I kind of got tired of that. I was like, why don't we just create it? Like, did you kind of ever have those kind of feelings? Like, I'm just tired of trying to find what I'm looking for and what someone else has done.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Yes, but no. I feel like for I had a long stretch of working with one producer. That's another thing. Like when I was in Cali, I did that project with Carlos Niño. Then it was a record with Doom. Then it was a record with Lewis Parker. Then it was a record with PVD. You know, Kyo Itachi.
Oh wow.
Chief on the Across the Pond in Switzerland. And then all of these just one producer records. And really that was inspired by a lot of my favorite albums were produced by one producer or one crew.
We talk about that all the time on the show, man.
Just like this cohesive.
Exactly. Like last week when Rashid and Buck Wild were here, it's like, you know, the one producer, one. You know, that's why I always say like that Blue in Exile, the Below the Heavens album, that was kind of a breath of fresh air at the time, because it was, you know, it was a kind of return to that consistent producer, you know, that cohesive sound. Because, you know, that whole having a million different producers, man, like the shit don't take you on any kind of musical journey at all. It's too many different. But you know what? Too many chefs, kind of a thing.
But it depends. Now I'm kind of back to that, where I feel like I'm gonna get back to that, but curated in a way where I'm picking beats to make it sound like one. Let's play one of my faves, man.
Okay.
Actually, this is my favorite joint on the album. It's called Honor Roll Flows. Featuring my man Big Tone from Detroit, Edson Sean.
All right, let's get into it. And now this drops officially today, right? Or
yes.
Oh,
no
so
doubt.
perfect timing, man. Clap
right
it up,
now.
man. The Level Up. Go get it. Where can they get it, man? Give out all the.
Yeah, so this is what I normally been doing, man. My Bandcamp following has been holding me down so lovely over the past year.
Right.
Bandcamp first for the week, streaming platforms next week. So if you stream, y'all gotta wait, because Bandcamp, they've been supporting and really showing love, so I want to show love back.
Okay.
You know? Shout out to Sincere on the track.
Word.
Shout out to Big Tone, Detroit. You probably heard him on Welcome to Detroit, Jay Dilla's debut album. You know what I mean? And shout out to Edson Sean. He's on the hook and the last verse.
I like that hook, man. It worked. It worked well, and for that, it definitely. I don't know. There's a California vibe to that, or something.
That's what's up. Nah,
I don't know.
Edson's a genius, man. He's a multi-instrumentalist. He's a rapper, singer, songwriter, you know, producer. He does a lot of things, and he's the guy that you call in when you're like, me and Tone I sat on this joint for about a year, man. And it was more because I probably should have called you. I asked a couple people to throw scratches on it. Nothing happened.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? I should have called. Now I know.
Yeah. Your initial releases were Fondulum joints, weren't they?
Yes, the first two.
So that was Bobbito obviously put those records out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was literally frequenting the showcase at the New Eurekan when he was hosting. And, you know, Science of Life, we knew Bob played tapes when Stretch was gone, because Bob didn't DJ yet. There wasn't no official Cucumber Slice DJ Cool Bob Love yet, you know?
Right. Best name in hip hop.
Yeah, man.
Best.
So he would play tapes in Stretch's absence.
Demos,
so I went to the show, I handed him a tape, just in that mindset of like, yo, maybe he'll play it when Stretch ain't there, whatever.
Yeah.
He called me a week later, left a message, said, yo, there's a joint on here, it's dope, let's do a record.
Wow.
You know?
And that was
Powers of
9 Ether, right?
Yeah.
I still got all those 12 inches, man. I wonder, they got to be worth some loot now. Some of that stuff is like the Saya and Yeshua EP. They want loot for that.
No, they want loot. When I see my stuff, especially from there, I buy it first.
Word?
Yeah.
You resell them? Tell the truth.
No, I'm keeping it.
So you don't have a lot of that shit?
I mean, not copies after copies. I got personal one or two, you know, depending on what it, especially the older stuff. Like, my brother has more of that than I do. But
really? Yeah,
I probably have, you know, the first 12 inches, maybe 4 copies.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. And this is literally for the DJs. Like, this is my push to saying, yo, I'm tired of not being in rotation.
Whose
my
rotation
records
are you
too
not?
smooth.
Oh, you're right.
I got
right,
a
right.
lot of smoothed out records the past,
See, but I love joints like that because, and I've played a lot of them here because they break up the monotony of a lot of the, a lot of shit is very same sounding nowadays. So I appreciate it, but these are definitely going to get run though. Obviously we all know how hip hop has changed, since the '90s and all these kind of hills and valleys and different things, whether they're good or bad. We're not going to get into the whole state of hip hop thing. That's a tired argument at this point. But have you managed to stay motivated that whole time? Did you manage to stay creative? Was it motivating to keep being you and putting joints out? Definitely. I know you were busy the whole time, but
yeah, man, it was because it was. After a while, it was on my own terms.
Right.
It wasn't like you said, the label. Oh, we need it like this.
Right.
It's like really having dope mentors early. Shout out to Bobito. Shout out to the Lyricist Lounge. Shout out to Big Just.
Oh, shout out to Just, definitely.
I was that brainiac kid who got into MCism and fell in love with hip hop on a hands-on way, but then had mentors to break down the science for me.
And that's so missing nowadays, man.
It's like I really understood early, like, nah, don't sign a deal that's going to not give you back the ownership of your music.
Right, or stifle you creatively.
Exactly.
Because that happened to a lot of people, too.
When did you know that you were going to do this forever? That was it? No turning back?
That's a
what
great
age?
question. Forever, maybe 18.
Yeah? When did you start?
10.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So it was more fun all those years, being a kid,
those
having
years
fun
were
with
fun. It was really organic. It was a classmate. His parents had an Ashford and Simpson style group called Thomas and Taylor. I was always at the crib playing video games. One day they came in and they showed video. Yo, performing in London. Yo, performing in Paris. Yo, we got records, we got vinyl. And I'm looking like, yo.
All this shit's possible, huh?
Y'all just made pancakes last week. And I was like, this is what y'all do. So it just had my wheels turning. And then it happened that their son taught me how to write bars.
Oh, wow.
And we wrote the first rhyme. I still remember the rhyme.
What is it? You remember it?
Oh,
word. Acapella?
Acapella.
All right, here we go.
It's the old school.
Nice.
JR Acapella.
Yeah, this is circa
Acapulco.
1986.
Oh,
and this is the first.
Word up.
I was
joint you ever
12.
penned.
I was
First
12.
joint.
So this is Flip the Script Radio exclusive. This is history right here.
First joint.
I'm curious. Let's get into it.
Are
Are you older than See Reality?
86.
I was 12 in 86.
Summer 86, I was 10 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm older than C.
Building blocks of crack is a product of probation. Ooh. You do crack because you lack education. To make a little money, you do anything. We're going to show you what the word crack really means. C stands for all the crack you sold to a girl who named D. She only 9 years old. R stands for the way you ran because you mugged an old lady and you claim you're a man. It was Run DMC cadence though. A stands for you always illin', robbing and stealing, thinking you chillin'. C stands for when the crack is gonna end, when you're 6 feet under for the rest of your friends. K stands for I don't remember because that was a long ass time ago.
Gotta stand for kill or Kiwi.
Yeah, it was something for
it was kill. It had to be killed. It had to be killed. That's dope.
Did Nancy Reagan pay a visit to your elementary school back then?
No, but you know what?
86 crack was live. Yeah. You were in Brooklyn?
Nah, at this time I was in Far Rockaway.
Far Rockaway.
Yeah, so
86 I was in Fort Greene.
But you see the difference though, even as a 10-year-old kid at that time, and we watched that shit just destroy our neighborhoods. I know it did mine, and people that were. You remember, like, as working, functional people became zombies, like, overnight, it seemed.
Especially
yet we
when
still,
I left.
Yet we still had that perspective, though. We weren't glorifying it. We weren't, you were talking about the ills of it, which is now it's like
it was
crazy.
Called Crack is Whack.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember a song called Crack Killed Applejack. That shit was like, that was about 85.
Wow.
It was bad. It was Crack Killed Applejack. But crack was everything. I mean,
that was your song. Stop lying.
No. It was Apple Juice Jones.
He's doing
right there. Wait a second. What's going on?
Salute to Ren, man. Salute to Invisible Hands on that track. Yeah, man. We could get right into it, man.
All right. Well, I wasn't even going to ask you to rhyme, but
it's a great beat.
We know you can rhyme, but John Robinson on the mic.
I flip the script like the radio. Hold up, I flip like acrobatic gymnast. Here we go, live off the top of the headed. It's infrared scope, and you don't need to look close. Don't need no telescope to tell us dope. You glide on track off the top of the cabbage. It's far from average. Yeah, it's kind of lavish. You throw on a scarf like mud cloth like. Every time we coming back, the rhymes come off like. See reality, I see reality. On the top of the domain, spit no profane, yeah, casually. Step into the places, John Robinson flows, he got a lot of them, known to drop a lot of gem, of course. Drop gem back and forth like Aaliyah, funk freaker, Mike the speaker, soul like Aretha. Bacon in your oven, Anita, baker, rapper. Hit you with the style, it's so dapper. Yeah, peace to the people in the chat. What? Yeah, we live and direct or flip the script radio. Here we go, we flip like acrobatic gymnasts. It's the lyricist, indigenous to this hip hop tip. It's so wicked, kid. Change the beat up, we flip it like that. I heard it right there, and then we strike back like Empire and Star Wars. This ain't Boba Fett. Why you searching for the Millennium Falcon? This ain't over yet. We still going. We got like 10 minutes left, and John Rob, nah, he never running out of breath. I like the camera stand. Yo, it's like blam. Hit you with the in your face like his shirt said, damn. Yo, he keep it going, flowing in steady motion blue. We got it live and direct. I got you open too. Catch me as I interject. Nah, catch me on the internet. JohnRobinsonMusic.com is so exclusive. It's the illa movement. Every time we come back, yo, you better choose it. Yo, get the level up and time to level up. Why you come to turn the bass and the treble up? Shut the up. Nah, he don't curse for the young humanity, the man in me. Every time we come, he cause calamities, catastrophic, metaphoric, or metamorphic. Nah, he rock like sedimentary. Nah, he lock like penitentiary. Yeah, it's off the top, he ain't write it down. Every time he coming back, it's smooth like Lowenbrow. I'm gonna show you how to freestyle. Yo, it's like that, back and forth like ping pong. He sings songs, regular bass, anytime, any place. Blacklist, all these whack-ass rappers, send them back to the track, kid. Tie up your laces and go back to the basics. Yo, we coming back with Spray Kids. Yo, it's like Nicolas Cage face off or facelift. Oh man, it's Spray Kids like All City. Piece to Scheme, TMT, Style Wars. Yo, we live in the place to be. It's JR, scientists, applying this to the next dimension. Yo, it's hypertension. Yo, they keep going up. This is how we do with the style like what? Yup, it keep going up. This is how we do it with the style like what? Yup, it keep going up. This is how we do it with the style like what? Yup, it keep going up. This is how we do it with the style, yo, freestyle, no padded pen. Stabbing men, smacking them up for babbling. Around the globe he be traveling. You can hear the flows from the abdomen. Yo, stop babbling, throwing far like a javelin. Stunning the muse, confused, yup, it's him again. Pasty, tasty like cinnamon, or bitter like clitoris. Yeah, it's the lyricist. He's indigenous to this hip-hop tip. Yeah, he go on and on like Aaliyah, Badu, Wadu. Every time we come back, try who? JR, hey y'all, live in the place, y'all. Style stay hitting like baseball. I said before, Nicholas face off, right? You heard of it, the murderous, verbalist, metaphoric, enormous, king of the chorus. Any murder scripts on a regular basis. Type your laces, kids. Get ready for the level up. Place your bids. Go download it right now on Bandcamp. Every time he coming back, yo, the blam champ. He been doing this since Fondle him in Lyricist Lounge. Piece to the style when he used to scrounge. It's back to the real lyrics. Y'all ain't ready for the ill vivid. Y'all ain't ready for the ill mystics when we flip it. Like he said before, but this time he flip it. Like he said before, like it's the Olympics. On some pimp shit. Every time he come back, we about to brink. It's like big like Mount Marcy. When we coming back in stomp beats on a regular time. This is how we rhyme. Yeah, back and forth. I said that when we play tennis. It's not Dennis the Menace. It's John Robinson. Nah, it's not Jay-Z mixed with AZ. It's John Rob and he's style fat like pastry. Enemins, you could taste it. Every time he coming back, yo, he placed it. All over the rotations of the DJs. Wigger, that's what they really gonna say. Yo, scratch off the top of the headed. Scope, yo, live and direct. You could tell it's dope. Let's go, flip the script all the time. This is how we do it with the freestyle rhyme. No underlines.
Murder.
Oh, there you go.
Murder.
So there it is.
Yeah.
You're taking the school right there.
That's all complete.
All off the top.
Off top.
Yeah.
Incredible, man.
That's the bonus song on the album. I just recorded it right now.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, just make sure
there it is.
Make sure we get our cut. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
Flip the script remix. Let's do it.
That's fucked up. We're not even recording right now.
That's what you think.
Nah, man. Shout out. That's.
Yo, that was great, man.
But that's
I love
where
it.
I come from.
Of course.
That right there where...
There's a couple heads in the chat that are not surprised at all.
They were like business as usual.
They're like they're business as usual.
They know.
We got nerds in there, man. We got hip hop nerds in there. I call them herds.
Salute to all the people out there tuned in and the people who continue to tune in.
Yeah.
And you got homework tonight. If you're a long time listener, by time Monday comes, tell 5 more people who don't know about Flip
There you
the
go,
Script.
man.
That's your homework tonight.
That's it.
Do your homework.
All right, man, that's
what
dope, man.
Jesus did.
Matt, why don't you tell people that?
Yeah,
I do, man.
What kind of marketer guy are
Yo,
you?
Flip the Script Radio's up in Crash Boat in Puerto Rico. Feel me?
You came here one time and that was it.
Yeah, we definitely.
Job.
Artists like myself, we need homes like this. Real talk.
Yeah.
We do. We need y'all. We need homes like this of aficionados curating a show that's for the culture.
What's your opinion
Applause
on
for
that,
that.
man?
Applause
You
for that,
feel
man.
like there's a lack of because we talk about it all the time, but I just want to get your take on it. You feel like there's a lack of curators and tastemakers and gatekeepers nowadays, or even like mentors. I think it's all tied in. But
yeah, I mean, shoot, we are them, right?
right.
Yeah.
I just feel like a lot of people from our era and our age bracket don't do enough of that though. They feel like they got to cater instead of educate.
Y'all hear that? See Reality says, "Step up to the plate, culture."
That's right.
But no, you're right. I mean, I think, to be clear, we are them. Like, we are the curators. We are the mentors for the next generation. So I feel like play your part. But even in the sense of, I don't feel like there's a lack of anything. I feel like if there's anything happening, it's a miscommunication.
Right, I
You know what
agree,
I'm saying?
totally.
There's not enough of a network. Before this was a network.
Right.
Where you knew every DJ in the country who did this.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Easily. And it was more of a streamlined network. And not to say it is non-existent, but it's not as cohesive as it used to be.
And I think, as we get older and new cats come up, they just don't have a reference point.
Exactly.
They don't understand that that's the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should be looking for mentors. Now it's kind of like, I feel like people with experience get discredited. Sometimes like there's age discrimination, like we talked about it last week with Sidetrack Imperial on the show. People kind of like, we looked up to older people. They had all the value in the world to us.
You're right.
But in this hip hop shit, since it's kind of been changed into like this youth culture by like major labels and stuff like that, I feel like people shit on people that they don't think are cool enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, your outfit's not cool enough. You got gray hairs in your beard. I can't listen to you.
And a lot of times I wonder how much that's by design.
Totally. It's totally by design.
Think about it. You're a young man. You got buku dollars.
Right.
And then you see your OG, right? Who's like the legend.
Right.
But maybe he doesn't have his stuff together.
Yeah.
And now you're looking as the young person as, why should I listen to you?
Right.
Because the entry point was probably the young person hearing the OG or hearing the circle hate on what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then that was the entry point, and then there's no communication. I think hip hop is such a monster. It's like we have to stop thinking about only the music part.
Right.
Like, for real. We
At this
always,
point, especially, at this
we
stage of the
only
game.
think about, and to your point earlier, not to get far into it, but
Get as far as you want, man. That's what we do.
Yeah, the reason I never lost my passion is because I saw the platform early. I saw that hip hop was bigger than just the music part. I saw that the culture had a platform that was so huge you couldn't even describe what could be built on it yet. Like, still right now, that's how huge it is.
It's wide open. I think now more than it ever has been.
You
because
could
because
create your hip hop job on hip hop's platform
clap it up,
worldwide.
clap
You know what I'm saying?
Aplauso.
Yeah.
I think it's become so limited and so put in a box that there's so many other options outside of that scope.
Yeah, man.
That's why the mentorship is important, because people got to understand that those things are possible.
Exactly.
Like, you get a lot of people from our era that, they wouldn't do no shit like this. They'd be like, ain't nobody listening to that. And, that's not what it's, people are listening. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's the thing, they are. Yeah. And I'll say this. I'll say, even with the younger generation's music, I don't understand all of it, and I don't love all that's being communicated, but I would say it's powerful, man, because there's a trillion other people who disagree with me, and it's not just because some label said so. It's bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think it's more about the growth of these young artists developing into their conversation and what they're really going to say to the world when they're ready to. because the world's in a place now you can't party and bullshit really any longer, man. It doesn't even make sense anymore. But we know that that'll still exist. But I feel like I'm already starting to see the shift. I know plenty of young artists, next level, forward thinking, who are the next ones.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, that's part of what motivates us to do this.
We've had a few here.
Like you see it. Like people, it's funny. Like I'll turn people onto the show and they'll listen, and they just assume that, everything we play here is old because of the way it sounds. Like they don't realize that music. Like I hate to even use that as an analogy, but they just assume that a certain sound, it's got to be older. It can't be new, and yet it's coming out every day, and a lot of it's coming out by younger people, being put out by younger people.
No doubt.
And even though, of course, our reference point's a little bit different, and we could be a little more critical in different ways.
Of course.
You see the disconnect in how some of these artists were mentored, and you see that they mean well, but they're trying to get to a certain point, but they're not being guided, man. And that's, people got to step up to the plate, like you said.
Let's just do another freestyle.
Leave the guy alone, would you?
Whoop, whoop. Let's do All City. Yeah, let's keep it raw. This for the graffiti writers.
Oh, okay.
Not the graffiti artists. Salute to y'all too, but this for the writers. This for the cats out there risking their lives doing this shit.
Right.
This for the cats, yeah.
And this is dropping tonight.
Yeah, this is out right now.
Wow.
Out right now. So
Go
get it.
People. Let's go.
Yeah. JohnRobinson.bandcamp.com. John Robinson Music, IG, link in bio.
There you go. If you need a little breath of fresh air, man, this album is definitely that.